Welcome to NocBro Nation.
Welcome back, comic lovers. I'm Jarrell.
And I am Josh, and today we're here to review issue 189 of The Walking Dead.
And yes, the title is Lines Are Drawn, and literally in this comic, lines are getting drawn.
Yeah, they literally took a marker and drew on the floor.
Drew on the line.
No.
Yeah. Outside the Commonwealth, where do you want to be?
We definitely we left the last episode with the fate of Eugene and Stephanie up in the air.
They died.
With a herd of walkers actually making their way to them as they're working on the train, and that is where we pick up now. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. They're working, they're caught by surprise, but they have no choice but to go inside the train and lock themselves inside the train.
Which I think is what
the herd.
Yeah, I think you predicted that too.
Yeah.
Like that's probably like the only thing they're going to be able to do.
And I did say this, that, just from my father actually worked on, or not worked on, he was an engineer or conductor for Union Pacific. And it's pretty hard. To get into those things.
Yeah. Made of metal.
If you're a walker. Yeah.
Right.
And not to mention that it's actually up pretty high. It doesn't seem like that in the picture, but it's actually really higher than that.
Yeah. Walkers aren't going to be able to get into it. They're not going to be able to push it over. But Stephanie is freaking out because, we're locked in here.
She's never been in this situation.
Exactly. So the Commonwealth has been able to, similar to how the Alexandrians used to be, they were so confined and never had to worry about walkers because they enclosed themselves in. And yeah, Stephanie's like, well, we're trapped in here now. We can't get out, so we're probably going to die. Right? Yeah. Eugene's like, I won't let you die. Yeah. I won't let us. Eugene's just getting his mean face on.
Yeah.
So
we cut to Mercer, who is in the jail, and basically someone has come to visit him. And he said, it's about time I get a visitor.
Laura.
Yeah.
Yep. And Rick was wondering where Laura was. So she says, hey, I'm a friend. I'm here to get you out. And he's kind of like, well, that's probably going to be a hard thing to do. But she's like, no. Just, you might want to stand away from the wall just a little bit. A little bit more.
He's like, wait, what?
Boom. A massive explosion. And as Jesus and crew are arriving, because they're coming up on the Commonwealth, they see this explosion. And they're probably like, what the hell's going on in here?
Yeah, I love this because this sets off a chain of reaction across the community. Quickly, yeah. We cut to Governor Milton.
Rick.
Rick, who is with Governor Milton. We find out. Elodie, who's running. Michonne, who sees the explosion. And then we cut quickly back to the source of the explosion, and that was Mercer. And he's literally laying on the ground like, are you trying to kill me?
She's like, oh, I'm sorry. It's I maybe should have had you come back a little bit more. And lo and behold, of actually who triggered it was his buddy. His one guy who he asked in the locker room if he was going to be, taking his side.
Completely forgot his name.
I forgot his name too, but he basically said, look, I couldn't say that because Lance was there, and I didn't want them to. He's like, I didn't know whose side people were on yet.
Yeah, and he was like, what good is it going to be if I'm in jail next to you? Like,
right.
Then we're really screwed.
Then he's like, let's go. We got to rally the troops.
Yep.
And apparently the troops are on, a lot of them are on Mercer's side, and they're waiting. They're ready to go.
Yep.
So Rick is frantically saying, look, we have to get out of here. We need to get you safe. Now, Governor Milton's like, oh, this is just something small, right? And Rick is like, where do you think that explosion came from? The jail cell.
Yeah.
And who did you just put in there? Yeah, he's coming for you.
Yeah, he's like, I don't truly think you realize what's going on here.
Does not understand
and
the
she
gravity
doesn't.
of it.
And
he gets in her face.
Yeah, and in comes her arrogant son, who's just a complete idiot. They are all rushed out of there, and quickly the son's like, what do you do? Like, why are we in such a hurry? Like, they wouldn't have the balls to overthrow us.
They need us.
They need us. Blah blah blah. And he's like, why are we taking orders from you?
Yeah, who put you in charge?
Rick.
Right. And Rick basically grabs this kid by the throat and says, everyone freaking hates you. And what I loved about it is Rick actually said in front of Governor Milton, what you guys are doing to these people is wrong. Like, the reason that they're revolting is because of how you treat your community. And they're going to fight back and do what they can. But I am going to try to protect you in a sense to make sure that you don't die because of the stupid choices you made.
Yeah.
And then Governor Milton politely asks Rick to let go of her son before he probably, crushes his throat.
Yeah, the whole plan for them is to get them to Greenville, which is on the outskirts of the community. Now,
we saw them once.
Corvus, I think is his name?
Chloris.
Weird name. Governor Milton, has said, Chloris will get us out of here quietly. And that's what they do. They're making their way out of the community, and lo and behold, they run into Jesus. And I love this reunion between Jesus and Rick, because Rick's like, so happy to see him.
Right. A little, he's happy to see him, and Jesus is kind of like, but Rick is telling him, like, hey, I think even Jesus says, things not going well for you right now? Rick's like, no. He's like, the thing I want you to do is take these people and, make sure that they're safe. I need to stay and try to calm things down. And Jesus is kind of like, man, I didn't think that we were going to be jumping right into things, but all right, whatever you need, I'm going to do it.
Yep.
So, it was pretty funny.
Yeah,
I think Jesus was kind of like, man, this escalated quickly. So Eugene and Stephanie, we get back with them. Eugene is coming up with a plan. While he's explaining the plan, he's also trying to calm her down. And I love how he kind of...
there was a throwback to someone.
A throwback to Rick.
Yeah.
Well,
I think there was a throwback to someone else, too.
He was mostly talking about Rick.
Yeah, I know he was mostly talking about Rick, and how Rick... It was actually kind of a throwback to Eugene's early days, where Eugene said, we were on the run a lot. We went from community to community, and it was really Rick that showed us that what we have is something worth fighting for.
Back in Alexandria, yeah. So basically kind of saying, because he was, we know Eugene's story. He was a very scared guy. You could say he was weak. Rick allowed him to stand up for himself, to get stronger, and make him use his brain more and think better to get out of situations. And he's kind of explaining that to her, and also trying to calm her down. So what he's trying to use is a fire extinguisher. So he lets the fire extinguisher go. He throws it out the window, and he says, "We only have a couple minutes. As the fire extinguisher is going, it's going to attract the herd. But we have to be careful because we don't want some of them to see us as we're running away."
Yeah, and I love his line where he was like, I used to be afraid, but I don't use that. I use that fear now.
Yeah, the fear.
It doesn't mean that it's gone away, but I use it when I need it.
Right. It helps you survive. It helps you kind of stay focused and everything. So he's, like I've said again, he's trying to calm her down, but also give her the confidence to know that, look, we're going to get out of here, but you have to look inside yourself and say, I'm still afraid of these things, and they still calls them roamers. It's so crazy when I keep seeing that. But they devise the plan. He gets it done. So they run out, they kill a couple, and they try to get out as quickly as possible so that the majority of the walkers don't see them. They're still focused on the fire extinguisher, so they won't then just start coming after
That's what I'm thinking of. There was a callback to a specific scene in the comics where the gates had gone down in Alexandria, and Rick had rallied the troops to fight off all the walkers, and together they came together to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the scene where Carl gets his eye shot out and Rick explodes. I'm thinking more of the show. Or was it the Whisper War when the gates went down and everybody worked together to clear out the community when they had the opportunity to do so?
It's part of the Whisper War, yeah. So, but they get out. And we get a cool, nice little reunion with Rick and Carl.
Yeah.
Carl, I'd say he's kind of surprised to see Carl there, but Carl's like, look, I'm here to do what I can.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of leadership training there, too, because he says... if you need me to do something, or he asks his dad, what can I do?
Yeah.
And his dad's like, listen, when you feel like there's something to do, it'll come to you. You don't have to ask. You'll just know when to do it.
Yeah, it was really cool. So we get back to the Commonwealth. They've actually, looks like they arrested Lance. The Commonwealth soldiers are starting to take over. Mercer's starting to make his presence known. But then the people start coming in, calling them fascists. And he tells these people, disperse immediately. We have no beef with you. We're going to, change the Commonwealth to make it better. of course, the people are starting to revolt.
They
Not
throw
a full
a bottle
revolt
at
yet.
him.
Oh, yeah, they do.
And he actually has to fire in the air a warning shot telling them to disperse, and they start.
Yeah.
They start to, and this is where Rick comes into play, and he shows up and says, "Mercer, what are you doing?
What are you doing?"
And Mercer's like, these people, I'm trying to help, but they think that we're establishing a coup here.
Right.
And Rick is like,
yeah,
that's exactly what it looks like you're doing.
Mercer's trying to justify it, saying after everything that we've done for this place, they should be standing behind us. But the way that he's starting this, it's making the people feel like, okay, they're just changing their minds.
Well,
and
that, and with everything that happened with the fellow Commonwealth guy that had gotten beat up and killed, he was beat up and killed by those troops. Now, regardless of the situation of how that went down, it was still a visual for other community people seeing troops beating him up. So now we're seeing troops take out the power of the community, and that's where they're kind of confused, is like, no, this is a coup. This isn't something, these people are evil. Yeah,
so he's like, whatever you're doing, you're making it worse. Just look around you. And this is where you kind of get, almost a way like Mercer isn't the leader we thought he was, because look, I'm in over my head. I'm drowning in this. He's like, I need your help. I can't do this without you. What are you going to do to choose to help take over Governor Milton? Like, what are you going to do, Rick? And Rick just has no response at the moment.
He says, if they won't choose me or Governor...
or Governor Milton.
If they won't choose me, then they have to make a choice between you or Governor Milton. And it has to be you, essentially, is what he's saying. He's saying, look, I can't do this alone. It can't be Governor Milton. It has to be you.
Right. So... we saw the cover coming up in May of issue 191 of Rick, with the stump up in the air. Is this him? We'll get to that, but man, is this going to lead to him running this, or I don't know how it's going to all play out. It's going to be insane. Yeah. And also, guys, we're coming close to issue 200. I mean, we're not that far away. I know we are not.
I mean, we're 11 issues away. I mean, it's pretty crazy. I'm kind of wondering, are we going to get a famous arc again? And when I say famous arc, I mean like a big arc. A big arc. We do have these smaller ones. It is 6 issues that compacts in a trade, but then we get these Whisperer War, All Out War, when are we going to get that? Commonwealth War 1 through 5, part 1. I don't think there's going to be another war. I actually hope that there's not. I hope there's not any type of civil war. It doesn't look like it's playing out to be a civil war.
No.
But yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see when that next big arc is and how close it'll be to issue 200.
Yeah. So guys, let us know your thoughts of issue 189. As you guys know, The Walking Dead is amazing. We love it, and all you guys who do watch and like and subscribe to the channel, we know that you guys enjoy it too. So let us know your thoughts. We are thoroughly enjoying this. As always, we cannot wait for issue 100.
Yep, cannot wait, guys. Let us know what you think. If you're new to the channel, give this video a thumbs up. It helps out a lot. Subscribe to the channel. Follow us at NocBro Nation on Facebook and Twitter. I'm Josh.
I'm Jarrell.
We're NocBro Nation.
We're out.